John flew his small salvage ship close to the dying star. He scanned the area for any wreckage that could hold parts worth salvaging. The controls beeped softly as the ship drifted through the silent void. John tapped a few buttons and brought a drifting craft onto his display. It looked like a shuttle. It had strange markings and a curved design he had never seen. His heart beat faster at the thought of finding something rare. He guided his ship next to the shuttle. The metal skin was torn and blackened. The life support systems were offline. He opened a remote hatch and connected power cables. The shuttle's lights flickered weakly. John reached for his suit and gloves. He stepped into the airlock and locked the hatch behind him. He floated through the dark corridor. Cold metal walls pressed in on him. He saw movement ahead. Inside the main cabin lay Lily. Her skin had a pale blue tone. Her eyes were wide and curious but also filled with pain. She was curled on the floor under a thin sheet of aluminum. Ice crystals covered her shoulders. John's breath shook as he floated forward. He tried a simple greeting, no response. He placed his hand gently on her arm. She shivered even more. John checked her vitals with a small scanner. The readings were dangerous. Her heartbeat slowed, and oxygen was nearly gone. He swallowed as worry filled him. He knew she would die soon without warmth. He unwrapped his own thermal blanket. He could feel the heat fading from his suit as he wrapped it around her shoulder. The blanket was thin, but it held his warmth. He moved her into the airlock and brought her inside his salvage ship. He closed the hatch and initiated the heating system. Warm air rushed in. Lily's skin glowed faintly. Her breathing became steadier. John watched the monitors and held his breath until her heart picked up strength. He removed his gloves and rubbed his hands together. Lily slowly opened her eyes. John knelt beside her seat. She stared at him with wonder. He could see confusion and trust battling inside her gaze. He offered her water and some simple food from a package he carried. She sipped slowly and nodded in thanks. Her voice was soft. She whispered, "If I keep you warm tonight, can I stay?" John froze. He stared at her in surprise. The question was simple, but it carried so much meaning. He did not know her language, but he somehow understood. He placed a hand gently on the blanket, across her knees. He nodded and said her words back. "If I keep you warm tonight, can I stay?" She smiled and closed her eyes. John floated to his pilot seat. He opened a secure channel to the salvage network. He reported he had found a survivor. He chose his words with care. The network would demand the alien be handed over. He knew the rules. He clicked send and cut the channel before any reply arrived. He owed her his help now. He sat across from her and watched her sleep. The gentle rise and fall of her chest gave him hope. He had risked his career for this moment. He had chosen to help someone he barely understood. But in that choice he felt a shift in his heart. She was no longer a mystery. She was someone in need. The ship drifted toward a safe distance. John set a course for a nearby repair station. He needed supplies and time to understand her condition. He would learn her name and find a way to talk. But for now, he would keep her warm. He would let her stay by his side. John stared at the star outside his window. Its light was fading, but inside his ship, warmth grew. He leaned back and closed his eyes for a moment. The vast space felt less lonely. He would not send her away. He would stand by his choice no matter what happened next. John sat at the helm of his ship, the starlight glinting on the metal panels. Lily lay on a narrow cot behind him. She had curled into the blanket he gave her, her skin glowing with faint warmth. John ran a hand through his hair. He knew he could not keep her forever. The salvage network would notice an alien on board soon. He took a deep breath and walked to the back. Megan, his engineer, was working on the power relay. She looked up when he opened the door. Her eyes widened at the sight of Lily. Megan shut her mouth for a moment before speaking. "John, what are you doing? You know the rules. An alien is not allowed on any ship. If patrols catch us, we will lose everything." John stood beside the cot. He watched Lily shift under the blanket. He could see her breathing more steadily now. "She is hurt, Megan. She would die in the cold. I could not just leave her." I could not. Megan closed her notes and rubbed her temples. I understand that, but we must make a choice. If we keep her, we violate the interstellar code. Patrols will board us at the next station. Then we face fines and license suspension. I do not want to see your work destroyed, John sighed. He looked at Lily's peaceful face, so vulnerable. He remembered how she whispered her question. It echoed in his mind. He felt a pull in his heart that he had not felt before. It whispered, "Of compassion beyond the rules, what do you think she can do?" John asked. He had noticed strange traits in Lily. She seemed to sense the temperature and mood of others. Megan paused. She tapped her pen on the table. I saw it yesterday. When you argued with Alex, she turned her hand and the engine room warmed. The heat gauge moved up without any power change. She did it again when you were cold and tired. She spread warmth around you. It was like she knew you needed comfort. It was not just heat, it was calm. John nodded. That gift could be a problem in a gift. If patrols saw, they might think she was a dangerous bioweapon, or they might want to study her. But if she could warm the ship, she could save them both on a long mission. Megan returned to her notes. We need a plan. We cannot hide her forever. I have friends at the station who deal in black market goods. They might help, but it costs credits, and it is risky. John stared at the view screen. Stars passed quietly. He gripped the rail. His mind raced. The choice lay before him. Turn Lily in and follow the law, or protect her and risk his career and life. He remembered the moment he found her. The ice on her shoulders. Her eyes pleading for warmth. He could not send her back to the cold. Not. Now, with a firm breath, John turned to Megan. I will risk it. We keep her until we find her people or a safe world. I cannot go back? Megan looked alarmed. She set down her pen. Are you sure? This will change everything? John nodded. I am sure. She trusted me. I will not break that trust. Megan hesitated, then nodded slowly. I will prepare the hidden compartment. It is old, but should hide her scanners. We will need extra power cells, and we must reroute the sensors to show empty space. John watched her move with purpose. He felt a weight lift from his chest. They would protect her together. Later, in the engine room, John installed new power cells under Megan's direction. Wires snaked across panels, and sirens of pressure gauges beeped softly. Lily stood nearby, watching them work. She leaned on the rail, her pale blue skin bathed in red warning lights. Lily held out her hand. John paused and offered his palm. She closed her eyes and pressed her fingertips to his skin. He felt warmth spreading up his arm. It was not the faint heat of a blanket. It was alive, pulsing like a heartbeat. John felt tears in his eyes. He nodded. Thank you. Lily opened her eyes and smiled gently. She had no words, but her expression spoke gratitude. Megan glanced between them. It is time to move her. The compartment is ready. John and Megan guided Lily to a small door behind the engine console. Megan entered codes on a panel, and the door slid open. Inside was a narrow space lined with padding and old equipment. It smelled of oil and dust. John helped Lily inside. He covered her with blankets. Megan closed the door and activated the reroute. The scanners now show empty storage. Patrol scans will see nothing. But we must stay under the patrol route for now. John placed a hand on the door. Thank you, Megan. She gave a small smile. We will keep her safe, but we have to be careful. Your choice is the hardest I have seen. You may lose your reputation. John nodded. I accept that. She trusted me. I will honor that trust. The ship hummed around them. They worked in silence for a while. Then John turned to Megan. Did you ever think I would do something like this? Megan looked surprised. No, you follow the rules more than anyone. John laughed softly. Sometimes rules must bend when someone needs help. Megan returned a small grin. Then we are both changing. Let us hope the universe forgives us. John woke early and went to the cockpit. The stars looked clear, and the engines hummed with steady power. He checked the hidden compartment door. It held firm. Down the corridor, Megan worked on sensor adjustments. She heard a soft knock. She opened the door and greeted Alex. He told me you wanted to see something, Alex said quietly. John stepped forward. Alex frowned at him. John, I thought you were gone. I tried to reach you on comms. What is this? He motioned toward the closed door. John hesitated. Then he opened the door a crack. Inside, Lily lay curled on blankets. She peeked through the gap. Her pale blue skin shone in the dim light. Alex's eyes widened. He backed away. Is that an alien? John, you cannot just hide her. Patrols would shoot first and ask questions later. You know that? John held his ground. She is hurt, Alex. She has a gift that helps save this ship. I will protect her. Alex shook his head. This is madness. You risk us all. If they find her, we all die. Lily pressed her hand against the door. She looked at Alex with sad eyes. John stepped closer. Please, give her a chance. Alex stood silent. He looked at Lily and then at John. His face softened. If she can help us, perhaps I can accept this. But she must not leave this compartment without my say. I will watch. John nodded. Alex stepped aside. John closed the door and locked it. Later, in the mess hall, John and Megan sat across from Alex. The table was simple. 3 cups of coffee steamed softly. Alex frowned. I do not understand her language. But I saw her eyes. She watches us. Does she learn? Megan replied. She learns by feeling warmth in words. I tried simple phrases, and she repeats them. She seems eager to communicate. John added, when she warms the ship, it feels like comfort, not power. She shares kindness. I trust her. Alex looked doubtful but nodded. We should test her ability. On long trips, she can save power. But she cannot control the heat in one. Room only? Megan tapped her datapad. Not yet, but if we map her gift, we might focus it. We need practice. John looked determined. I will ask her. She must learn our language and our ways. We both need trust. That night, John sat near the hidden door. He tapped a simple code to open it. Lily sat up, her hair glinting under the dim lights. John took a seat. Lily did not move. She waited. John tried a simple phrase. Hello, I am John. What is your name? Lily closed her eyes. She breathed slowly. John felt warmth. Then she spoke a word, Lyria. John repeated softly, Lyria. He smiled. Nice to meet you, Lyria. You are safe. Lyria nodded once. She stood and moved close. John offered his hand. She took it. He felt warmth pulse through his palm. John guided her slowly. He pointed to his mouth and said, Speak. He pointed to himself and said, John. Lyria touched her throat and said, Lee? Yeah? John nodded. He said, Lyria. He pointed to Alex's direction and said, Alex. Lyria pointed past John, then repeated, Alex. She smiled. John glanced back at the door. Megan and Alex watched through a small sensor window. Good, Megan whispered. Alex nodded. John continued, We are friends. He said slowly, We. Then pointed at each of them and said, Friends. Lyria watched and repeated after him. Her voice was soft but clear. She then closed her eyes and released warmth. The room temperature rose by a few degrees. John felt sweat bead on his forehead. He laughed. Amazing, you did it. Lyria opened her eyes and beamed. She placed her hand on John's shoulder. The heat spread to his chest. Alex stepped forward. That is exactly what we need for the cold sectors. If we work with her, we could cross frozen zones without power loss, Megan nodded. But only if she agrees. Lyria looked at John. She spoke quietly. Help me go home. John felt a pang in his heart. He knelt and took her hands. I will, I promise. Lyria smiled. She closed her eyes and nodded. The next morning, John updated the course. The hidden compartment held Lyria safely. Megan prepared systems for a longer journey. Alex plotted navigation through colder regions where they could test Lyria's gift. As the ship slipped into the dark, frozen belt, the crew worked together. Lyria lay behind her shielding door. She listened to John's words. She breathed slowly, resting her warmth for the trials ahead. John watched the monitor. Ice storms loomed ahead. He felt fear and excitement. Lyria would change everything, he thought. If she could help them survive the cold, she could help many more, and he would keep his promise. Bring her home. Outside, the ship plunged into the frigid belt. Inside, the warmth of friendship glowed brighter than any star. John guided the ship toward the nearby repair station. The black market contacts were risky, but they had no choice. He watched the stars blur past the window. The hidden compartment was secure. Lily lay inside, breathing slowly. In the engine room, Megan monitored the sensors. She adjusted the reroute programs. The air hummed softly as she worked. Alex kept watch at the communication console. Suddenly, the alarm beeped. Patrol vessel detected them. Megan frowned. They are closing. Fast. They will board us soon. John took a steady breath. I will handle this. Alex, prepare to explain our malfunction. Megan, have the hidden compartment ready. The patrol vessel docked with a soft clang. Lights flashed in the hallway. John met the officers at the airlock. 2 officers stepped inside, their faces stern. Salvage pilot John Carter, the lead officer, said, "We received an alert about an unauthorized life form on board. We will inspect your ship." John nodded. He spoke calmly. "Yes, please do." I reported a structural fault in the engine. I fear there was a power leak. The officers looked at each other. They followed John toward the engine room. Megan slipped back to monitor the hidden compartment. She watched Lily through a small sensor. Camera. Inside the compartment, Lily felt panic. She knew this was dangerous. She closed her eyes and thought of warmth. A soft glow spread from her chest. The metal walls absorbed the heat. Back in the corridor, the officers checked gauges. One officer touched a panel. The ship temperature read normal. He frowned. I see no leak. Everything is stable. John explained. I may have misread the sensors. The fault seems minor. You can continue your patrol? The officers paused. The lead officer said, We will perform a final scan. Then we will leave. They activated a handheld scanner. Megan's code redirected the reading. The scanner beeped empty. The officer looked confused. John smiled politely. See? Nothing here. Thank you for your time. The officers left, their boots echoing away. The hatch closed with a hiss. John exhaled. Megan rushed to the compartment panel. She opened it. Lily stepped out slowly. She looked at John and Megan with relief. Megan hugged her tools. You did it. You hit us. I never knew you could do that. Lily touched Megan's arm. Warmth spread softly. Megan shivered in the best way, like a calm blanket. Alex came to join them. He smiled. You saved us. Without you, we would be lost. Think. You, Lily nodded. She looked at John. He held her hand. She whispered, Thank you. John smiled. You are safe now. They guided Lily back to her cot. The ship set sail for the repair station. John updated their course to the black market dealer. In the cockpit, Alex said, We make a good team. I still worry, but I believe in her and you. John nodded. We will find a way to get Lyria home. Lily lay on the cot, looking at the ceiling. She held the blanket close. She was tired but hopeful. The ship drifted in silence. The hidden lights glowed softly. John sat beside Lily. He held her hand gently. Rest now, he said. We will need strength tomorrow. Lily closed her eyes. Warmth pulsed from her every breath. The ship glowed bright inside. John watched her sleep and felt peace. Despite the danger, they had moved forward. The bond between them was stronger. Outside, the cold stars passed by. Inside, friendship and hope kept them alive. The ship drifted deeper into the frozen zone. John watched the navigation screen. White clouds of ice crystals stretched for miles. He sighed and turned to Megan. We will test Lyria's gift soon, he said. Prepare the sensors in the cargo hold. Megan nodded. She tapped commands. The cargo bay lights switched to soft blue. Instruments lined the walls. Alex joined them, rubbing his hands together. I still can't believe this will work. Alex said, We lose power here in minutes. If Lyria can melt these crystals, we save days of flight. John offered a small smile. Trust her. Down the corridor, Lily listened in the hidden compartment. She heard the hum of instruments. Her mind focused on warmth. She felt fear but also hope. She would help them. John opened the secure door. Megan and Alex watched. Lily floated out on light steps. Her skin glowed pale gold. She looked at the crew. Ready? John said. Lily raised her arms. She closed her eyes. Warmth pulsed from her chest. The temperature gauge in the corridor climbed. In the cargo hold, ice crystals coated the walls. Megan activated the sensor grid. She whispered, "Now." Lily stepped into the hold. She stood in the center of the ice. She opened her arms. Heat radiated, the ice cracked, steam rose. Frost vanished. In seconds, the hold cleared. Bare metal walls shone. John looked amazed. "It worked," Alex said, clapping. "You are incredible." Lily sank to her knees, exhausted. John rushed to her side. He wrapped her in a blanket of spare cloth. "You did it, Lyria," he said. "You saved us time and power." Lily looked up. She nodded, smiling. She whispered a word. John did not understand, but her eyes glowed. Megan checked the readings. "Systems are stable, heat levels safe." She sighed in relief. John helped Lily to stand. He guided her back to her compartment. "Rest now," he told her. "We will." "Need more," the journey continued. Hours passed in silence. The ship hummed steadily. Outside, stars blurred. John sat with Megan in the cockpit. They watched the ice belt. Alarms remained silent. "This changes everything," Megan said. "With Lyria, we can cross any cold sector," John nodded. "But we must find her home soon. She misses her world." Megan looked concerned. "We need supplies and translation help." "At the next station, we find someone who can speak her language," John agreed. "Plot a course to the nearest settlement." Alex joined them. "I will prepare the ship. We may need repairs after that test." As Alex left, Megan looked at John. "You think she will forgive us if we keep her too long?" John paused. "She asked to stay with me if I kept her warm. She saved us. She trusts us. We will help her go home. Until then, we protect her." Megan smiled softly. "I am proud." "Of you, John?" John smiled back. "I am lucky to have you both." Later, in Lyria's compartment, John gently opened the door. Lily sat on the cot, looking at him. He knelt. "Hello," he said. "We are stopping at a station soon." "We will get supplies and help for you. Do you understand?" Lily closed her eyes. Warmth radiated from her. She spoke slowly. "Yes. Home." John nodded. "We find your home, I promise." Lily smiled. She rested her head on her hand. She felt safe. John left a cup of water beside her. He stood and closed the door. He felt hope and fear in equal measure. Outside, the ship passed a glowing planet. Lights sparkled on its surface. John watched, feeling the weight of his promise. The frozen belt was behind them. A new world awaited. And with it, answers and perhaps a way for Lyria to go home. The crew prepared for whatever came next, united by warmth, trust, and the promise of a new beginning. The repair station hovered in orbit around a small green planet. Lights blinked on its surface like distant cities. John guided his ship toward the docking bay. His heart felt heavy and hopeful. Lily would soon see her people. Megan and Alex met him at the entry hatch. They all wore simple uniforms. Megan carried data pads. Alex held spare parts. John nodded and opened the hatch. Inside the station, the corridors were bright. Humans bustled around. John found the black market contact in a quiet corner shop. He recognized her from messages. Hannah, a woman with quick eyes and a friendly smile. Hannah led them to a back room. She spoke softly. "Your alien friend, she is Lyria. She comes from the Star of Ori. They live on a hidden world beyond patrol. Space, few know the way." John's breath caught. "Can you guide us?" Hannah nodded. "For a price? I can buy supplies and open a window in the patrol net, but you need special codes." John placed credits on the table. Hannah counted quietly and smiled. "Good. I will send you the codes tonight, but you must leave at once." Back on the ship, John found Lily in her compartment. She looked at him with hopeful eyes. He knelt. "Lyria," he said, "we will go to your home. I found someone who knows the path." Lyria's face glowed. She whispered, "Thank you." John touched her hand. Warmth pulsed gently. He felt calm and strong. That night, under the station's neon glow, John uploaded the codes. Megan updated the navigation. Alex fueled the engines. Lily sat quietly, listening to the hum of machines. John checked the last items. "Ready?" he asked. Megan nodded. Alex saluted with a grin. Lily closed her eyes and focused. Warmth filled the ship's hull. The engines warmed. Systems hummed. With new energy. John smiled. They slipped from the station's bay. Outside, stars stretched in every direction. He entered the code. The patrol nets cleared. They were free. Days passed in silence and purpose. The crew took shifts caring for Lyria and the ship. Megan monitored the power. Alex charted the stars. John studied the path to Ori. Lyria sat with him one evening in the cockpit. She pointed ahead. John saw a small dot of light on the display. "A hidden world. Home," she whispered. John eased the throttle. The ship dove toward the world. The sky turned green and gold. Clouds swirled across oceans. Mountains glowed under alien suns. They landed gently on a soft plain. Strange plants reached toward the sky. The air shimmered with warmth. John opened the hatch. I stepped out first. She took a deep breath of her home air. Tears filled her eyes. She turned to John and whispered, "I am free." John smiled but felt sadness too. His promise was kept. Now it was time for goodbyes. I walked into the tall grass. She looked back. She raised her hand in farewell. John joined Megan and Alex at the ship's door. Megan said softly, "You did well, John." Alex added, "We made history." John watched Lyria disappear beyond a hill. He felt her warmth in his heart. He took a deep breath and turned to his ship. As they lifted off, he saw a glow on the horizon. Lyria stood on a rise. She raised her arms and sent a pulse of warmth skyward. The ship heated gently as if saying goodbye. John nodded back. He felt hope and wonder. He had kept her warm. She had changed his life. And their story would live among the stars. With new charts and memories, the salvage ship sailed into the night. Friendship and warmth guided their path. The universe felt smaller now because kindness could bridge worlds.